head, neck, backbone straight. Let us keep our head, neck, backbone straight. This is a position where the energy flow is maximum. Ideal for Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasanam, listening, reflecting, meditating. Let us keep our body still and relaxed and withdraw our attention from all that has happened in the past. The past has gone, never to come back. Experiences are not very important. What we learn from it, that is very important. Let us withdraw our anxiety for future. Next moment, we do not know what is going to happen. So why worry? Let us be clear in the present moment. This moment is the only thing what we have got. So the body is still, mind is cheerfully alert. Let us take a deep, slow, conscious breath. Full breath. When we take a full breath, we realize that all this time we have been taking 1/4 or half the breath. The attention is so much outside that we normally do shallow breathing. Full conscious, happy breath. Breath is always in the present moment, always fresh, always available. God created, thankfully. Breathing is happening naturally. We must always be thankful for that. Not dependent on our forgetfulness. Let us invoke God's grace, Guru Parampara's blessings. Two things are required for success: God's grace, our efforts. When they come together, there is always happiness inside, success outside. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितं उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजं सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम्।
Hari Om. Thank you, Manisha. So, we are reflecting upon the 9 no's and the 9 yes from the Bhagavad Gita. There are two kinds of people. One, with age and experience, they become bitter and bitter. And that we can see immediately when they open their mouth when you meet them. Because we can exactly know what is inside, because what is inside comes out. And the bitterness happens because they have not dropped the toxicity or the negative things which have been accumulated with lot of experiences and learnings. And that's the reason these 9 no's would clearly help us. So I am sure that you are also remembering and by hearting the 9 no's, because if I don't do it, then the first case is very evident. And the second type of people are with age and experience, they become better and better in life. And that is what in our Sanskrit they say that Vruddha. Vruddha means one who is, it is coming from the root Vruddhi. Vruddhi means growth. There is inner growth what has happened. Otherwise, not only senior citizen or physically old or elderly, but whether I have really grown, and for that these 9 no's and 9 yes will help. So we have seen how many no's till now? 1, 2, 3, 4. We will see. We must remember, otherwise, पुढचं पाठ मागचं सपाट in Marathi there is a म्हण. So just to revise, no attachment. And the shlok and verse is asanga shastrena drudena chitva. Immediately will experience inner freedom. It's an instant result. Whatever we are attached, when we drop, there will be experience of freedom. No comparison. Second no we saw. Paradharmo bhayavaha. Contentment, not complacency, we will experience satisfaction. Otherwise, there is always a sense of lack. No criticism, adveshta sarva bhutanam. Immediately what we will experience is ya pashyati sa pashyati. Acceptance of what it is will become objective, will not become biased. And no insistence, ma phaleshu kadachana. Immediately we will experience adaptability. This question has been asked for too many married people, that what is one qualification required to get married and to have happy married successful life. Love, not even one person mentioned. They mention adaptability. And this adaptability goes down when with age and experience people become rigid. My everything rigid, body becomes rigid, mind becomes rigid, like dislikes becomes very, very narrow, and it happens naturally. Suppose we do not drop this nose. And today we are going to see no doership. This is a very, very important, not very easy lead to practice, because when a person realizes one's own self, the first experience is I am not the doer. That is the experiential anubhuti, that doership goes and humility and gratefulness comes. So with that background, we will see no doership today. What is the verse? Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. So our verse is ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. The ahankar says I am doing, I am karta, because the karta becomes bhokta, the bhokta becomes bhukta, the bhokte rehta hai. In Hindi also bhokte rehta hai and bhukte rehta hai. So ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. All activities actually are carried by the three modes, Prakriti, that we will see. But in ignorance, the ahankar says, diluted by false identification, body, mind, intellect, it says, I am the doer. You don't know my life, Many people come and say, no, that is all okay, Bhagavad Gita says, but you don't know my life, how I have lived my life. My life is very different. How I am a self-made person. All these things was not there. I did this, I did everything, So that time we must remember this verse, Ahankara Vimudatma Kartamiti Manyate. Bhagavan is laughing and saying that one more murkha person saying that I did everything. So now, before we go into analysis of this no doership, this one clip we will see.
Just 1 second, Prasad. I'll stop the recording.
Yeah. So I hope we have got the 2-3 lines. And one thing we have to note that he is a good person. So many people think that, good people are spiritual people. But this doership is there in good people also. Intentions are noble. He says that I want to teach my children, put them into best school. I will teach them. And then Lord Krishna says, okay, you will give them shiksha. You can only put them into school. But whether they will learn or no, that is up to them. And exactly same thing happens in the movie later on. You can watch. It's a very interesting movie. That worth watching again also. That one or two of his children don't study only in the best school. Then he says, no, I will make my daughter marry in the best house, rich house, and then where she will be happy. And then the point to be noted here is that Lord Krishna asks, okay, that means you are responsible for creating happiness in your daughter's life. Okay, you will give happiness to your daughter. Yeah, I will give. So these are the two dialogues which shows the intention is noble, nice, humble, nice person. And these are common intentions of all of us, that my children should study in a good school, my children should get married in the best place. But then we forget that who is the doer. So to emphasize on this, please Ask yourself, have you heard this earlier in your life? The pen saying, I wrote this novel. And you have to, this week's mantra is to practice is, really? That is a mantra. We have to ask, really? Without author, without hand, ink, paper, education, electricity, printer, you alone? Yeah. Batsman saying, I alone scored century. Our mantra is very simple mantra. We have to practice. Really? Really? Who manufactured bat, ball, stumps, ground, stadium? Hero saying, I made this film successful. Really? The producer laughs, director laughs, music director laughs, spot boy also laughs, audience laughs. Fan saying, I am giving air, bulb saying, I give light. Really? Electricity smiles. And then coming to us now, very, very important. Similarly, body says, I am working, mind says, I am feeling, intellect says, I am thinking. And really? Really? And then I say, I am doing it. So God smiles here. He says, okay, you are doing it. And Pujya Gurudev also smiles. So I want to read out one story from one of my favorite book called as Every Breath a Teaching. Those who are in Chinmay Mission and yet not read this book, I think you're missing something, especially the session on ego. That Guru's job is to destroy the ego. And also the last goodbyes in that book. Then you will see that who was Gurudev, He was not an ordinary Guru. Who was Gurudev? He himself says in the last goodbyes, And how many goodbyes he gave to all the people, indication that when is he going to go? And who was he? And why he had come. So I'll read out the story. This happens in Melbourne. It is on page number 157. I want to read exactly the dialogues, not to tell you. And the name of the story is Roasted Ego. These are all real life stories. Roasted Ego. In 1988, when Swamiji was giving a yajna in Melbourne, I had the chance to make an afternoon snack for him. All through the week, I had an unusual desire to cook something for Swamiji. Normally, I wouldn't even dream of replacing one of the tasty, expertly cooked Indian dishes that appeared before him daily with one of my own creations. I had neither the confidence nor the time to do the task justice. Then my chance came one afternoon, and I had planned to cook some spinach pastries for him, because this happens in Australia. Here we will make some, dal roti, spinach pastries for Gurudev. I washed the spinach 6 times to avoid any grit, bought the finest of olive oil, the finest phyllo pastry, and the ricotta cheese and fresh herbs. I sweated over every detail and watched the pastries strangle bake until they were perfectly golden brown. We can imagine and smell that golden pastries right now here. Swamiji came out of his afternoon nap in the best of spirits with a mischievous grin on his face. He watched me, and as I fussed over arranging the little pastries, stirring his tea. Then Gurudev asked, "What's this?" He asked as he peered interestingly at the snacks. "A spinach triangle, Swamiji. It's a Greek recipe." I replied, heart in my mouth. He ate one. He said, he ate another and then another. Not bad. Delicious. And then the trap question came from Gurudev. "You made this?" By this time, I was quite rosy with pleasure. "Yes, Swamiji." He looked at me intently. "What's in there?" "Greek pastry, Swamiji, and ricotta cheese, spinach and herbs." "Oh, you really made them?" he asked. By this time, I was getting a little put out by his questioning. Yes, Swamiji. Oh, you made the pastry dough? No, no, Swamiji, I bought that ready-made. Hmm. You made the cheese? No, Swamiji, I bought that cheese. Oh, that spinach? I got it at the market, Swamiji. So you made them? He looked at me with penetrating, loving, teasing gaze that strips away all the illusions and defenses of the ego, which has the habit of appropriating God's creation for its own glory. They are very good, he said with a twinkle in his eyes. And that's how the master works, not only from the dais giving discourses on Geeta and Upanishads, but in our day-to-day life to destroy our ego. And with this sense of doership, because sense of doership creates this sense of attachment. So it's a very, very core one, as Guruji says, that this is the core one to work on. Ahankara Vimudatma. Now ask yourself, our mantra for this week is, we have to by heart this mantra. Really? We have to by heart. Really? CEO saying, I built this company. Really? Mother saying, I gave birth and raised my children without any knowledge of, biology. Really? GM saying, I saved the organization. Student saying, I failed or passed. Father saying, I earned everything. I work for family. Really? Flute saying, I played this raga. Farmer saying, I am producing grains and fruits. I am producing. Mosquito sitting on elephant's back, saying, let's shake the bridge. That is our state. So one exercise we have to do, list down today 15 invisible contributors to whatever I am doing, feeling, thinking, enjoying, suffering. Even suffering is not created by my own. We casually say, I made tea. Let's take an example. I made the tea. But look at how many factors actually come together for having one cup of tea. Some people are having tea also while listening to this, I know. My intention, I have decided to have tea. That also has to be there. Second, health and energy. Some people do not have health and energy to make their own tea now. It has to be given by somebody. Knowledge, I must know how to make tea. Memory, I should remember where the ingredients are and where they are placed. Water, who made the water? No, it came from the tap. Tea leaves powder, somebody produced in Assam, Darjeeling, and then packed, supplied. Milk, it came from far distance, farmers, animals, processing, supply chain contributed it. Sugar, so many sugar factories. Gas, electricity, stove, kettle, utensils, money, resources, infrastructure, other people, nature, and larger order, sunlight, rain, soil, air. All these 15 parameters we have listed, there can be more. All this has to come together for having one cup of tea, and still I say, I made it. So now the question is that if I didn't do it, then who did it? Who is the real doer? If you say, I didn't do, really, that practice mantra, but who did really then? So who is breathing for me? Who keeps my heart beating? Doctor or myself? Who grows my hair? No, naturally. Who heals my wounds? Who cooked? Who ate? Who digested? Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. No, I only cooked, I only ate. Who is desiring? Who is thinking? Who is doing? Bhagwan in Vibhuti Yoga says that I am only creating that desire in you. Who taught? Who is talking? Who is listening? Who is suffering? Who is enjoying? Who is in bondage? Oh no, I want to have liberation now. I want moksha. I do not want next birth. Who realizes? Who is saying? No, I am saying. Who is this I? So who is this doer? Without our knowledge, this entity is sitting here without any inquiry. So now this is homework. Already this answer is given in the verse. Ahankara vimudatma kartamiti manyate. First sentence, the answer is given. But just to ponder, body is the doer, or ego is the doer, or consciousness is the doer, God is the doer, Prakriti is the doer, Upadhis are the doer. No, no, no. Atma is the doer, Brahman is doer. No, no. Nobody is the doer, or everybody is the doer. Who is the doer? No, no, I am the doer. So we have to find out. The answer is given already in that verse. We will cover that. But just for thinking. Because we never question this. On whose behalf I am thinking, on whose behalf I am doing, on whose behalf I am feeling, on whose behalf I am suffering, on whose behalf I am enjoying. Who is that I? Who is that doer? Who is pushing me to do all these things? Who is listening? No, no, I am listening. Who is that I? So these are the questions we are going to address in this session. What is doership? Causes and effects of doership. Difference between responsibility and doership, because the moment we talk about this, oh, that is very good. I don't want to be a doer. I don't want to be responsible for anything. But we'll have to see difference in that. Practice to reduce doership. So this fourth, and affirmations for practice. Daily affirmations, what we must see. One affirmation we have already given. Really? Really? I am listening. That's the reason when Gurudev used to give discourse from his dais, 5,000 people sitting, he used to prostrate first and then start his discourse. One day he was asked, why do you prostrate to your audience? He says, Narayana is talking, Narayana is listening. That is what his vision. So now what is doership? First of all, doership is the belief that I alone am making things happen. This is one definition. We are not going still to the technical definition, the I notion. In our day-to-day life, the belief that I alone am making things happen. Many people have this. Suppose I go from the family, I don't know what they will do. What they will do? Maximum they will put one photo, garland, cry for 2-3 days. Things will go on. Or the false ownership of actions and result. And this interesting word comes, ship, friendship, ownership, relationship. We have never questioned what is that ship. There is a photo also. What is that ship? Doership is a ship that carries the ego. And that anchor you can see, that is the ego which goes inside. And the ship gets anchored and doesn't move only. Once I board the doership, I start carrying, I did it, I deserve it, I control it, I want it, I am affected by everything, I am creating everything. These are the kind of effects what it will create. Ship technically means a state, condition, quality. That's the technical definition of ship. So when we say leadership, it's a quality of the leader. It's a state of the leader. Friendship, it's a quality of the friendship. In the same way, doership, what is that nature of the doer? That we will see. So what are the causes of this doership happening? Who is the doer? Atma cannot be the doer. Akarta, bhokta. Body cannot be the doer. It's an instrument. So prakritik kiyamanani. So we will see. Over self-signification significance, estimation. Without me, nothing would happen. We will go step by step. First in day-to-day transactions, without Vedanta knowledge. So I only estimate myself that I am like this, and my man becomes so much. Anybody says below it, apaman. Somebody says more than it, abhiman. And whole life goes into apaman and abhiman. And that's the reason we have Hanuman, whose man is only Ram. That is why his name is Hanuman. Who decides this self-estimation? Myself only. That's the reason people get hurt, disturbed, disappointed, angry, frustrated, because I am my man, Now, how could you say like this to me? Control mindset. I am making it happen. I alone want to make it. This is also there in many people, that they don't want to delegate. They don't want to share. They will alone want to do it because they believe that I alone can do it best. Then the next deeper one, ignoring the larger ecosystem. They are not looking around and seeing that the earth is moving 1100 miles per hour, sun is shining, moon is there, rain is coming on time, unseen forces are there, circumstances, resources come at that moment only. Yesterday itself, I was discussing with someone that there are many places where the food is given free. In many ashrams, Ramanashram, you go 3 days free. You go to Amritsar, you go to Shegaon. All religions have 1 or 2 places where food is. In Karnataka, if you go many temples, food is free. Now we wonder how it happens for so many years. So I was hearing one video. He says people in Amritsar, that Sardar was mentioning, that many times you are wondering for tomorrow, we don't know how many people will come, 5,000 or 20,000. And sometimes we don't have that much of grains, but 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock night, some 20 trucks will come with rice and wheat. It is happening for so many years. How free food? Isn't it amazing? 4.5 billion years this earth is moving. Everybody is getting to eat. Including that small insect in Shaligram, in such a hard rock, God gives food. Then the Vedantic one, lack of spiritual awareness. This is the core. That's the reason we say Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktaye. Ignorance of who is the real boss. If we join an organization and we don't know who is the boss, there is going to be a big problem in life. And I think that I am the boss. But there is a real boss. Effects of doership. Karta amiti manyate. I did this. This feeling becomes very strong. Creates a stronger sense of I and mine. That becomes my attachment. Without questioning who is this I. Karta amiti manyate. Second one, doership leads to attachment. Example. Here, this is my favorite example. Guruji also deliberates on this, that people are doing and thinking that doing is mine only. Whose work are you doing? Suppose maid servant comes and she washes the utensils, she washes your clothes, she sweeps your floor, she cleans the walls, and after that, because she says, I am the doer, so it is mine only. First thing what you will do, you will remove that maid from your house. So we have been posted here in this body, in this family, in this job, on this planet for some time. And after coming here, I say, oh, this is mine only. Bhagavan says, now bhi main usko dikhata hu. Then Bhagavan says, the moment you say this is mine, I will ensure that you go through certain situations. Because the same thing we will do. And all the time I remember, because maid servant does more job in our house than ourselves sometimes. Cooking also. And suppose she say, it is mine only, then this house is mine. You are also mine because I am feeding you. Ego, ahankara vimudatma, ego is created, becomes stronger with this mindness, doership, and humility becomes weaker. And that's the reason where there is this bhava that I am doing. These people are not humble, these people are not grateful. They will only say in writing, I am very grateful, but actually deep within, that strong bhavana is there, I am doing it. Ego is the sense of individuality which arises from identification with body, mind, and intellect. That is the technical definition of ego. If you listen to this verse from Guruji, he will give this definition. Sense of individuality which arises from identifying with body, mind, and I never question this individuality. One person was taking interview of one Mahatma and he said, can you tell me about yourself as a person? He told, I am not a person. That interviewer was not able to understand that answer only. He said, I am not a person. Nisargadatta Maharaj says that there is no person who realizes the self, but there is a realization that there is no person. So finally, as we mentioned, this individuality has to go, that I am an individual. And an individual says, Aham Brahmasmi. The salt doll, when dissolves into ocean, what will it say? I am the ocean. Who will say I am the ocean? Ego makes it difficult to accept feedback or admit mistakes in day-to-day life. That's the reason these people do not say sorry. If you give them feedback, they will say, I know everything. Actually, I know everything. This is what I know everything. With some little scripture reading, the person's ego becomes very high. If 10 questions are asked, maybe out of 10, 8 will not be able to answer. I achieved this, reduces appreciation and contribution of others. I am a self-made person. Nobody helped me, Nobody helped me. Now you cannot say that after today's session. If I believe I alone control everything, I constantly worry about outcomes. Failure becomes a threat if I get failure to my identity and my self-worth, because my work should not become my worth. My work should not define me. And if I am successful, then it creates superiority, arrogance, and complacency. And then I am a self-made person. I did. My life is unique. The way I have studied in the village and how I built myself, how I worked, how I got married and did so much of work. I alone brought my family and then I educated them. This starts happening. The doer becomes the enjoyer and the sufferer, karta, bhokta trap Bhagwan has put into. जो करता है वो अटकता है, जो भोगता है वो अटकता है, जो देखता है वो छूटता है. So questions. So one doubt I have here. So you say that I am not the doer, so I should practice I am not the doer, I am not the doer. Some people, Mai Sarvani Karmani, they will listen in Bhagavad Geeta and they will say, no, I didn't do, God did. No, I didn't speak, God spoke through me. And then other people are feeling bored also. No, God spoke through me. God only gave this idea. This becomes a kind of understanding. Yesterday, I was listening to one Guruji's talk on this. He was saying that spiritual sadhaks who are listening for many, many years, some people are professional speakers. Like I am a professional speaker because that is my profession. I earn money on that. But there are professional listeners also. And how do they listen? He was telling, they listen like this, like this. They will take the knowledge and then throw it out. Nothing will go inside. He was telling that like gargling, they listen to discourses. One discourse after another discourse, one text after another text, churning, logic, discussion, and then it goes out, little taste. Nothing goes inside. No change. If I am not the doer, then I need not be responsible. That is one main question coming. I'm not responsible for whatever I am, because I think that I am not the doer. Important point to note. I am not the doer does not mean I should not do anything, or I am not responsible for anything. What it means is I perform my role sincerely, but I do not claim absolute control over actions and results both. Though Karmanneva says you can control actions, but we will see in that order. We are going to see one order in Bhagavad Gita. What is the difference between responsibility and doership? This is very important one, because once we listen to this without paying proper attention, then I will declare that I am not responsible. Responsibility means I must do my duty. Doership means I alone make everything happen. Responsibility means I inspire effort. It inspires me. And doership creates stress. Responsibility enhances humility. This is what is the key difference. Enhances ego. Responsibility accepts uncertainty, that yeah, this can happen, not in my hand. But doership wants total control on other person, on whatever is happening. No, why this Iran, USA war happening? Why this COVID happening? You want control over everything. Leads to peace. Responsibility leads to anxiety if there is doership. So suppose I am stressed out, suppose I have anxiety, suppose I am a control freak, then basically there is a lot of ego and lot of doership inside. So now practices, how to reduce this. Level 1, this is very, very important. Level 1, stage 1, when we are operating, I am doing everything. Level 2, God and I are doing everything. 50-50% partners. And then once my understanding and realization becomes very clear, I realize God alone is doing everything. One day, Swami Advainanji went to Gurudev in Siddhabari. He sat, real life story. He took an handkerchief and asked Gurudev that who will drop this handkerchief, me or God? Free will or destiny? Who? So Gurudev looked at him, smiled and said, God. He understood. There is a book written by him, on small book on this experience and learnings. So now the journey of the doer, this is very, very, very important for us to know. The journey of the doer is, I am the doer. Karta miti manyate. Aham karta. So karta becomes bhokta and bhokta becomes karma bandha vidayane. Ahankara vimudatma karta miti manyate. Second, after reading and after understanding some Vedanta, I become karma yogi. I am responsible for my karma alone, not for the result. This becomes the understanding. Karmanneva dhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Third, I am an instrument. Third understanding comes. Nimitta matram. Bhagwan in Bhagavad Gita tells Arjun, they have already killed everybody. This war is won by me. You can see it. You are only a nimitta matra. Just do your duty properly with a cheerful mind. Mayye vaite niyata purvameva nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. You just do your duty. I have done everything. You can see that. He shows him. Dronacharya is killed. Bhishma Pitaba, still Arjun gets attached. It is not very easy. And then the fourth stage comes. He is the doer. Ishwaras sarvasya. Ishwaras sarva bhutanam riddhesher junatishtati. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani maya brahm. The God is there who is rotating this earth and doing everything. This is the fourth realization. So this is how the doer moves. The ignorant person moves from these stages. And this, in our Vedanta, we don't say there is one God. We say there is only God. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So practices for reducing this doership. This is first practice what we saw. Journey. So what is the practice? First practice, 5 contributors technique. This is the first practice. This is the same practice to ask one question. Really? Really? Whenever I achieve something mentally, identify 5 contributors. My effort is there, X. Then other people also have contributed. Circumstances, knowledge I received at the right time, and divine grace. 5 things. Practice 2. Before, during, after technique. Before action, before doing any action, I must tell myself that I am an instrument. This is the same question Lord Ram asked Hanuman. Once Ram was in a very good mood, and then, why good mood we have to say? Because after Sita was taken away, he was not in that mood for a long time. So one day he asked Hanumanji, who are you? What is your relationship with me? So Hanumanji is expert communicator, Vedanta Jnani. He told, when I identify with my body, I am your das. And where there is Dvaita, if you see in ISKCON and some of the organization, they will have this das as title, not Swami. Das. Prabhu Pada Das. Das title comes. Then Hanumanji said, when I identify myself with my mind, I am your devotee. And when I identify myself with Atma, I am you only. So before any action, doing any action, I must say I am an instrument. Seva Bhav will come. During action, Prema Bhav, let me give my best with love, not out of frustration, burden, duty. After success, thank you. This happened through me, Prasada Bhava. And after failure, I learned from this. I want to improve. The result does not define me. This is one of the best practices I can do every day. Third practice, sit quietly for 3 to 5 minutes. This is the most difficult practice. The most difficult practice in life is undoing, because constantly we want to do something, because the doer is very strong. No, just sit quietly with clothes. No, something will happen if I sit quietly. Some work will be unfinished. Observe and internally ask, who is knowing the actions? Oh, I can know my actions. I can know my thoughts. I can know my feelings. I can know my sensations, perceptions. Who is knowing it? There has to be a knower. And then introduce the Ram Band. We do not know the power of this question, what Ramana Maharshi gave. Who am I? Who is that I who wants to be free? Who is that I who is suffering? Who is the I who is angry? Who is the I who is happy? Who is the I who say, no, today I had, my meditation was not good today. Who observed? No, my meditation was so good. Both are same from the I perspective. What is that nature of I? These are the practices. We can take it up and we can see there is a degree of practices here. That last question can destroy and dissolve the illusory doer. What are the daily affirmations we can practice? I am not the sole doer. I am an instrument. Practice number 1. Affirmation means these are mantras. Mantras in our culture are basically daily affirmations. Om Brahma Arpanam Brahmavi before food. So what I am chanting is an affirmation. Everything is Brahman. Shubham Karoti Kalyanam, prayer. All prayers are affirmations. So this is a prayer. Things happen through me, not merely because of me. Children are only through me, not because of me. This first lesson is in parenting. I contribute. I do not control everything. Third practice, every day we must do. I give my best, but I do not claim about absolute authorship. Even Bhagwan in Bhagavad Gita says, this is my opinion. My role is effort. The outcome belongs to a larger order. Whatever husband role, wife role, that role I will do, but outcome doesn't depends upon me. There is a larger order working for that. These practices will help us in reducing our doership, which is, it is almost when the doership dissolves, realization is another name for it. No doership means realizing our own self, who am I? So this is a very, very, very important no. Drop the doership. But how can I act? I can definitely do all things without the doership, because I am doing for him. I am an instrument, or out of love, without claiming any control or authority on it. The next what we are going to take is no complaints. This is actually where this topic emerged, because no complaints, no criticism, no comparison. This is what normally I used to tell in most corporate programs. And we will see next time that what is the verse associated with it and how will it help us. So next session will be no complaints. And this week's sadhana is really, that is a very good word to ask. Really, you made it? And we must remember the Gurudev story. Really, you made the sandwich? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you very much.